Arroz, arroz con leche. I'm probably butchering that. Hey everyone! So, if you're in a relationship and you know how to cook, you have probably had your significant other ask you, hey, can you make this recipe for me? And you're like, sure babe, I would love to. Or at least that's probably what you're thinking inside, right? But then he says those dreaded words and you immediately start freaking out on the inside. Just like my mom used to make. Really? Okay, first of all, I'm not your mom. Second of all, this is a new recipe. I'm probably not gonna make it like her. Well, you know what makes it even worse is when you are in a intercultural relationship and he's asking you to make a cultural dish. So not only do you have to live up to the standard of his mother, but you have to live up to the standard of his Mexican mother. Add in the fact that I have never made it before. It's a Mexican dish. I don't even know what it's supposed to taste like. Well, I'm in that situation tonight. He asked me earlier, hey, can you make arroz con leche for me? He has told me how much he loved it when he was growing up, when his mom made him this dessert, this rice pudding, and it just holds a lot of nostalgia for him, which is like a super sweet story, but like, that's a really high standard to live up to. But anyway, if you have ever been in this position before, or if in the future you wind up in this position, I am putting myself through this on camera for your benefit. This is either gonna be a giant struggle or it's gonna turn out great. Fingers crossed. I'm a pretty decent cook, but I still make mistakes, especially when I am trying something new, especially when I don't know what it's supposed to taste like. Anyway, I'm gonna share my experience tonight with you so that hopefully you'll either A, be entertained, B, learn something, or C, just be able to find some comfort in the fact that we have all been there. So, without any further ado, let's get to it and make arroz con leche. Arroz con leche. Arroz con leche. I'm probably butchering that. I can't roll my R's worth anything. Anyway, okay, so I've already gathered pretty much all my ingredients, I think. The recipe says I need to put the rice, water, and cinnamon, and salt, and lime peel in the pot. I don't have any lime peel, so I'm gonna leave that out right away. So there we go, there's a deviation already. But I've got my rice here. I hope that jasmine rice is okay, but we're going with it. So there we go. I think this first part is just kind of cooking flavored rice, so that's not a big deal. I make rice all the time. Cinnamon, it says that I need a 3-inch piece of cinnamon stick. That looks like 3 inches, right? Right, there's the 3 cups of water and a pinch of salt. I love my little salt grinder, so I'm just gonna do a little that should be good enough. And that is it. So I'm going to take it over to my stove. And it says, bring it to a boil and then lower the heat. So I'm just guessing right now, I'm gonna put it at like medium or high medium heat. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is make the milk and egg mixture. All right, so it says to beat an egg into the milk. So I have my egg. I just made a big mess. I'm gonna beat my egg before I pour the milk in. I think it'll be easier that way. So my milk, that's 4 cups. It's a lot of milk. I guess that's why it's called arroz con leche. And we'll beat this all together. That's a lot of milk. I'm gonna switch pans real quick. This right here, this is authentic cooking with Callie. You're getting the real deal right here. I had to switch burners too because that's the bigger one. Can you hear that? That was definitely the extra water and rice mixture that I accidentally dripped down the side of the saucepan and was getting ready to burn on my burner. Okay, well that has to come to a boil, so I'm gonna pause this for just a second and we will come back when I can add the milk to the pot. I literally just noticed that my sugar says bone char free. What in the world does that even mean? It's bubbling. Look at it bubble. Okay, it looks like my rice is finally boiling. It actually didn't take as long as I thought it would. So I'm going to go ahead and lower my heat and cover it up. It says to cook it until it's thickened. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so it looks like the water's been pretty much absorbed. The next step, I don't know if I'm supposed to take the cinnamon out yet. I'm gonna say no at the moment. Anyway, now I add the milk and egg mixture. There's a bug. There's a bug swimming in my milk. No. Well, it's a good thing we're not serving it to anyone other than ourselves. It was just a little bitty gnat. It wasn't a big deal. Yay, the South, where bugs are everywhere. Okay, I'm just pouring in my milk and egg. Wow, that is a lot. I do not know how we're gonna eat all of this. We're gonna have rice pudding coming out of our ears. Okay, so I stir that in, and then I have to add the sugar. 3 cups. No, not 3 cups, I'm kidding. 3½ cups. So it just says to keep stirring it constantly over low heat until it thickens. One of the reviews I saw for this recipe was that this lady took an hour to get it to thicken. If this takes more than like 10 minutes, I'm cranking up the heat. I'm guessing the low heat is probably so that you don't scorch the milk. Come on, thicken. Okay, yeah, who are we kidding? I'm turning up the heat because this is taking forever and I want it to be done before he gets home. I'm just gonna make sure to keep stirring this constantly because I really don't want it to scorch or burn, but I've cooked milk and sugar at this temperature before and it should be fine. Usually when something boils, it gets thicker, so I'm fingers crossed that that works for this because it's taking ridiculously long. Like, I don't think it's thickened at all yet. Maybe this is just his way of keeping me in the kitchen. I'm kidding. Okay, so I was actually starting to get worried that this wasn't going to be done before he gets home tonight, but it started bubbling finally like a minute ago. So hopefully we're almost to the finish line here. Honestly, I can't really smell the cinnamon very much. It kind of just smells like milk. I'm hoping that the vanilla makes it smell a whole lot better. Come on, little ricey. Yeah, it still doesn't look like pudding at all. But it's a little thicker. We're getting there slowly. Okay, so I'm not really sure how thick needs to be. I'm going to guess that it's gonna thicken more once it's cooled because that's what things usually do. So what I'm gonna do is add the vanilla, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. There we go. Oh my goodness, this smells so good. The vanilla is actually making the cinnamon show up more, I think. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take out my cinnamon sticks. Just kinda. All right, so it said to cook it about 2 more minutes. I've probably gotten there by now. So I'm gonna remove this from the heat and let it cool, and then I'm going to dish it up for you guys. Okay, so I've let it cool a little bit. Probably should let it cool a little more, but I just can't wait any longer. I am so excited for this. First I'm gonna taste it because I'm really curious about how this turned out. It tastes like horchata. If you haven't ever had horchata before, it's a Spanish drink. I had it in Spain first, and then I found out they drink it in Mexico too. So I now understand why he likes it so much. But anyway, I'm gonna dish it up in these little cups, and I think this will look so cute with some cinnamon on top. So I'm going to take my spoon and just start kind of dishing it up here. Okay, and I'm just gonna take my cinnamon. Oh, the cinnamon smells so good. Just kind of sprinkle it on top, like this. There, that is so cute. And you know what? I'm gonna put one of these in too, because that would be adorable. There! Isn't that so cute? I'm so proud of myself right now. I'm so excited for him to come home and see this. I don't know how it's gonna live up to his mom's version, but I think I did a pretty good job for this being my first time and not even knowing what it tastes like. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment if there's something you'd like to see in the future, and make sure to subscribe so that you can see what I have coming up next. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye!
Oh, this is good, honey.
You like it?
Amazing.